3 wins the backup. Never would have thought that was imaginable, especially after 2 years ago, where I don't think they won a game.
After
that's tough. Yeah.
Not much to say about them. They're rolling right now. They played some weak comp, so that's probably why. But I'll have them at 7.
True. Cowboys' 3 games so far have been Bucks, Bengals, Giants, and Commanders. And the Giants game was in New York. That's a tougher place to play. Most people give them credit. Those are some good teams you guys have played. And yeah, 3-1.
And they are 3-1, the Giants. So whatever.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
One loss though.
Right.
You guys, true.
6, I'll put Miami Dolphins. Outside only because Tua's hurt and he'll be out at least one
week.
Yeah.
So we're doing these rankings right
week
now.
by week.
Yeah,
what you feel like today. Yep. Oh,
I have them outside looking in strictly because they're going to be playing with Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah,
And he did look good at the end of the game.
He didn't look bad. He didn't look
Jalen
bad.
Waddle though doesn't even look at him.
No.
Tyreek,
He looked
I
at
get
Trent
it.
Sherfield.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got those second reps connection.
Yeah, second team
makes
reps.
sense, though.
Him
Yeah,
and
they
Sherfield have that
practice
connection.
together
That could
every
be.
So a couple of our teams, Cowboys, Dolphins, outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens just missed my honorable mentions this week with
fair.
a collapse last week. Although they did lose to a team I have in my top
really
5.
good team. Yeah, really good football team.
So moving on at 5, I
First
have
half Ravens.
the
First
number
half,
one.
fantastic.
Ravens
Yeah,
lead
number
one.
one. Yep.
Yeah.
Best of all time.
Yeah.
Number 5, I have Green Bay.
Yeah.
I would have them higher on the list, but they didn't look great, even though they won this past week. So since they won, I'll keep them in my top 5. Tampa Bay is my number 4 team. Once again, they lost, but they didn't look awful, and their defense looked awful.
Defense was bad.
Going
But
against the Chiefs. Though.
They finally broke 20, or I think they scored 20 against the Saints, but
They
they
scored
got
exactly
pick 6.
20.
Yeah.
They had a pick 6.
The
so
offense
the offense
scoring.
finally looks good. Not much to say there. I'll keep moving. Kansas City's my 3rd team. Just beat the Bucks.
Yep.
They look unstoppable right now. The Chiefs do.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is my 2nd team, undefeated. They haven't really played that great of comp quite yet, but they're undefeated, so they belong on this list.
Yeah. That offense looks so good.
And then number 1 is the same as last week. I have Buffalo at number 1. They just look like the most complete team from the eye test, and I will say that they kind of get lucky to come back, but they came back. So that's my list.
Okay,
right.
I like that. We'll just go right down the line here. Sage, let's hear yours. Top 5.
So I'll start with my honorable mentions too. At 7, I have the Vikings.
Ooh, okay.
I just feel like that they have enough and they're figuring it out with the coach, but there's only one place to go, and I feel like it's still up. I don't feel like they're going to get worse than where they are, and they're 3-1. So,
I like that.
like I said at the beginning of the season, I called them to win that division. That being said, I do have the Packers later on the list.
Yeah.
6, I got to go with my Ravens.
Of course.
I really think that once we get this secondary figured out, once people can stop throwing on us, I just don't know when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Maybe this JPP signing's gonna
Hey,
he'll get us that 6.5 sacks
fingers,
off the
baby.
couch. But God, they're breaking my heart right now because they could be so much higher on this list, but they're just shit in the bed.
Yeah.
Number 5 of the Packers. Mostly their defense is just stepping up a lot
Finally.
for them. Yeah. All those first round picks are pulling off for them.
Well, they haven't drafted an offensive player other than a quarterback since, 2010?
Right.
In the first round?
Yeah. And then I got the 49ers at 4.
Okay.
I feel like the 49ers, all they need Jimmy to do is not make mistakes, and they're going to win games. And they're going to go to the NFC Championship, and they're going to knock out the Packers, and that's why I put them right above the Packers.
Okay.
Number 3, I got the Bills.
Okay.
I think the Bills, they've just shown a lot of weakness recently. They've continued to get injured over and over. Their secondary is very injured. They just lost 2 receivers this last weekend. So we'll see how that works, but that's why I have the Chiefs just edging them out at number 2. They don't look to have a big weakness anywhere, and they're finding ways to score that just aren't normal. So, and they're putting up a lot of scores. And then Eagles, number 1. They're undefeated. Why keep them anywhere else?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, agreed.
Granted, they haven't faced a lot of adversity, but
True.
they're doing that because they're kicking the shit out of their opponents.
Right.
They went down 14-0 against
They
the Jags.
finally faced a
I
decent
was
team
gonna
in the
say that's
Jags,
the
and that was the
first
first time they were losing, I think, all season.
They did lose 2 offensive linemen this last week in the first quarter, but they should be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Eagles-Jags game, that was lock number 2 was Eagles, so
Yeah.
that looked very rough.
Sweating out a little bit.
Right
Yeah.
off rip, 14-0. Yeah.
Only question for you, Sage, is how do you look the camera directly in the lens and not include the number 1 team in the AFC on your Power 7, on your top 7? How do you not include the number 1 ranked team in the AFC on there? Just out of curiosity. Just is it spite? Is it bitterness and spite? Is it?
Hear me out. Are we talking about the Dolphins?
Yeah, they're ranked first in the AFC
Interesting,
conference.
because here's the thing. the Dolphins, take away that fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
How's their offense looked? That's 4 touchdowns you're taking away.
Yeah, 200 passing yards in the fourth quarter against your ranked 6th team. And they just beat the 3rd ranked team. Interesting.
Okay, where's Tua? Where's the guy that threw all those?
He'll be back after this week. We
After
play the Jets.
He can have a chance to come back into the rankings.
Okay.
But
So we're ignoring the rest of the team.
let's,
The number 1 receiver in the NFL and Tyreek Hill.
let's wait till
Sure.
I saw a
Tua's
stat
back.
today is sickening. Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill's got more receiving yards than the Bears do as a team.
Yeah, as a
Saw
team.
that.
This makes me sad, but
Yes. All right, I will go ahead and jump into mine. I've got just missing out at 7, Baltimore. Team's good, just can't close. At home, 0-5 in their last home game, 5 home games, which is crazy to be losing 5 home games in a row. And in every one of those games, they were up by at least a touchdown at one point in the game.
First time it's ever happened for us too.
Yeah, they blew 20-3 this past weekend, and then against the Dolphins, 28-7 and 35-14. Can't have that, obviously. Obviously can't have that and do anything in your season. I mean,
It's gonna be a
because
long
who
season.
else did the Ravens? Who have the Ravens played this year? I know Dolphins, Bills, obviously. Jets and
beat
Patriots.
the Jets and Patriots. Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
played
you
the
beat
whole
up,
AFC
you
East.
beat up on 2 dog shit teams, and then the 2 good teams blew a lead that you guys very well could be
Should
4-0.
be undefeated.
Yeah.
Should be
Should be
4-0.
4-0.
Should be 4-0.
Should be number 1 team here.
Yeah, I think we'd be having a conversation about Philadelphia versus Baltimore for number 1 spot if
Yeah.
they
And
close
strength
those
of
games.
schedule
Yeah.
probably goes to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, oh yeah.
So I have them at 7. I've got Green Bay at 6.
Yep.
I moved them down in my rankings because they had to go to overtime against Bailey Zappi and Brian Hoyer. They don't drop off my top 7 completely, but they drop out of, I think I had them at 5 last week. I'd have to double check the tape. I have them somewhere. I had Green Bay at 4, so I
Yeah.
dropped them 2 spots for that one because that's just not very good. You can't
Tough
have
game.
that.
Yeah.
My number 5 team will probably surprise you. I've got the Dallas Cowboys at number 5 in my power rankings. That defense has not allowed 20 points in a game yet. All 4 games they have not given up 20 points.
Not 17. Like 17
They
is
gave up
the
19,
limit.
19
Oh,
to the
yeah,
Bucks
yeah.
in week 1.
That's right.
But yeah, they have not allowed 20 points in a game. That defense is getting after it.
Wild.
Cooper Rush is undefeated as a starting quarterback.
Quarterback controversy.
He's playing mistake-free football. That's what he does as a backup quarterback. You can't go in there and throw the ball 30 times with 2 interceptions and expect to win with the backup.
Yeah.
But the defense has stepped up in a big way. Number 4 for me, I've got Buffalo. They were losing 20-3. They were getting beat by Baltimore. They were well on their way to 2 straight losses on the road. So I'm putting them at number 4 here. Their running game is only Josh Allen. They don't have a good running game.
Yeah.
And like I said, they should have lost last week, but they managed to win. Big win. I got the Dolphins at 3, so I dropped them from my 1 spot down to my 3 spot. Tough loss. Obviously, that Tua injury was ugly. Nobody enjoyed seeing that.
No,
Ruined
it was
my
tough.
fucking weekend. I
Yeah,
tell you
no,
what.
it was tough.
I was in a funk. And I was real pissed at the Ravens. Not the Ravens player. I was real pissed at Sage. We were talking about that hit that night.
I was like,
It
what do you
it was a
expect me to
fine
do?
hit.
Not wrap up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know that on that hit, if it's Tom Brady, like as soon as he gets his arm around him, refs are running in, blowing the whistle.
You want to talk about hits? That Buffalo Bills game, the last drive, we had a quarterback
That
hit.
roughing the passer,
And they're, like,
that was
roughing the
so
passer.
bad. That was so bad. That was
Cleanest
so
hit
bad.
ever.
I think that's just because Allen turned and pounded the ground.
Yeah, and he
They
waited.
waited
He looked at the
too.
ref, didn't get the flag, started bitching, and so they're like, "All right, fine, we'll
Alright.
give it to him."
Throw it out.
I've always appreciated Josh Allen's talent. Every time he gets touched right now, he's immediately pointing at a referee. You got to throw a flag on that. I got touched. It's like, okay, buddy, you're not there.
He thinks he is.
You're 250 pounds, and you
Yeah,
run the
biggest
ball
guy on
all
the
the
field,
time,
basically,
and
yeah.
you're complaining about getting touched. I'm sorry.
And it was by a cornerback. It was by a DB.
It wasn't even hit hard. It was a weak little hit, and he was bitching immediately. He's disappointing me in how he's acting with that, but whatever. Like Tom Brady's done it for years. I hated it when Tom Brady did it. I don't like it when you get hit as a quarterback and you immediately look for the ref. Like you're on a football
You're
field.
playing
I don't know
football.
if you know this, but you're playing a contact sport, buddy. And when he runs through people and stiff arms people, the fans he goes nuts. You know,
Mhm.
flexes on him like I'm bigger and stronger
Yep,
than you.
yep.
But if he gets hit, he's not happy about it. So I don't like that. But like I said, Miami at 3. I expect us to beat the Jets even with Teddy Bridgewater, and every scan on Tua has come back clean. Now maybe you can't see the concussions on there. I agree with sitting him this week, even though
Oh,
he's
yeah.
walking around. He's fine in the clubhouse. Give him a week off to recover. I think Teddy will do enough for the offense to win the game. Quick throws to Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, they won't be able to cover him. Philadelphia at number 2, only because of strength of schedule. They haven't beat anybody that impressed me. They almost lost to the Lions. They almost lost to the Jaguars. They're losing 14-0.
Yeah.
They haven't super impressed me. Their offense is really good. Jalen Hurts had a bad week against the Jags, though. 200 yards and an interception. No touchdowns on the ground. Now, he may have had a rushing touchdown that I'm just not
He did.
seeing.
He
He
did.
did, okay. So he's getting his rushing numbers, but this was the Miles Sanders game, and he balled out.
Yeah, he did, man.
$134 and 2 touchdowns. Impressive. My number one team right now in the NFL is the Kansas City Chiefs. They look really good
Hard to
in
disagree.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like they're figuring it out a little bit. I think that Colts loss will be the anomaly by the end of the year, and we'll be like, how did they lose that game? They could have been undefeated 15 weeks into the season. So yeah, that's where I've got the Chiefs, and that's my top 7. Addison, you're up, brother.
If I just missed, I got 2 at 7. The Chargers, I think that was a big performance. I did get close a little bit, but the offense looked good. Herbert's just insane, and they are dealing with
talented.
major injuries right now. If they can keep it rolling, if they get healthy, they're going to be dangerous.
Mhm.
Tampa Bay fell out of my top 5. The loss of the Chiefs, yeah, it was ugly at the start. Tom Brady and Giselle, breaking news here.
Yeah.
They getting divorced?
She's
Like,
filed.
yeah,
I think
they have
that's
hired divorce lawyers. I wonder how that's just going to impact the season. Most likely in a good way. That's just going to piss Tom off,
Yeah.
and he's just going to come
I
off
guess,
with
man, but that's
vengeance.
tough.
Tom Brady for his age.
That is tough, you know what I mean? That's something you got to
21
take
more
into
years.
account with the team for the future. That's
Yeah.
your starting quarterback with a
Huge.
major life situation going
Life-altering
on,
event.
like, and it's because of football as well.
Because
Like,
he just couldn't stay away.
and that's interesting to me. So, you know, I
Yeah.
dropped him. The defense, it did look going up against the Chiefs, though.
Yeah, Chiefs offense is
They're
awesome.
Yeah,
insane.
Giselle, you want a divorce? You can have custody as well. I'm
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
out of that.
Yeah.
5 more.
For 5 more
I'm gonna
years.
be 50
Never
playing.
retiring.
He's gonna get
Um,
the next big contract.
Oh my God.
Give me 6. I'm gonna go Green Bay. It was an iffy game. I didn't have them on my just miss. I'm pretty sure last week even, but the running backs just are still. It's insane. Those 2 back there, and Rodgers. He did throw the pick 6, but he's not gonna make mistakes like that. You know, that's gonna be one of his few picks of the season, let alone his pick 6. Give me Green Bay at 6. Number 5. I got Miami here. I think the Tua injury. We'll see. I hope for Tua's sake, you know, he is back within the week, but just in case it lingers, it's going to be a question as well all year. Now, when Tua gets sacked at all, people are going to be worried. Is he hurt? Is he hurt? That's just going to come into play with Miami because if they don't have Tua, I just don't think they are as good.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you need him.
You have
He's
to.
he's the franchise quarterback. He's
Yeah.
proving that he is that guy, and you need him to be good. Number 4, I got the Dallas Cowboys at 4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're
Cowboys
rolling
are
with
rolling.
Cooper Rush right now. That defense, you brought it up, the 20 points. That's insane. Their defensive line gets to the quarterback. I mean, they get sacks. Number 1 in the league, I'm pretty sure still. After last week against the Commanders, they've got a 2-headed monster. I love the running backs. I love 2-headed running back teams, and the Cowboys are one of them. You just got to think, if they're rolling, if they do give the job back to Dak, there's going to be even better, hopefully, that he
Yeah.
comes in. And that's a scary thought. They're already looking pretty good, right? The competition is insane. Big week this week with the Rams. 3rd, Kansas City, the Indianapolis loss. It was ugly a little bit. Yeah, there was some miscommunications. It did look a little sloppy, but they bounced back huge against Tampa Bay. I mean, they were the underdogs going into that, or like just about even with Tampa Bay. I mean, they blew them out, but it's not surprising, you know, that it's not in the playoffs. Tom doesn't perform to the top of the level, and Mahomes, of course, is going to take his advantage.
Yeah.
Number 2, give me the Buffalo Bills. They were down big, but they fought adversity in that game and some bad weather as well. That's the thing. It started raining a little bit, and they're still making plays on offense, and I understand that's where it gets sort of ugly with Josh Allen running the ball. But if that's the case, give me Josh Allen running the ball against most defenders in this league. The guy's bigger than most people. He's strong. He's competitive. He's going to fight. And I like you said, Colin, the Bills top to bottom are just insane. So I got them at 2. Number 1, same for me as last week, Philly. Undefeated. That's just tough to take them, like Sage said, take them down. But Jalen Hurts, right, he didn't have the best passing game, but I will say this as well. The weather in Philly was ugly. The Jags, I mean, it was windy. It was an ugly game, and they were down 14-0, and it didn't look like they were down 14-0. They came out, all of a sudden it's 14-14. They take the lead, 21-14, and then they just don't look back. I really like the Eagles, what they've done so far this season, so that's why I've got them at 1. I just don't see how I can take them away.
Yeah, I agree with you entirely. So, those are our power rankings. Bob, did Bobby send me his power rankings? If he sent me his power rankings, we'll just touch on those real fast here. I'll double check. He did. So, Bobby has Ravens at 6.
Okay.
Green Bay is his 5th team.
Yep.
Miami at 4. Kansas City at 3. Buffalo at 2. And Philadelphia at 1. I can't argue with any of those.
No, I will say for my just miss, the team right below all of that is Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, they're two
Just
collapses
need to see
away.
them close
yeah.
out a bet. I'm glad they didn't close out week 2, but as a Ravens fan and a football fan, you have to say you got to close those games out. You
Oh,
have
absolutely.
To. You have to close
Absolutely.
those games out. Those are both
Two
at home
17-point
against
collapses.
against 2 playoff contending teams. You have a big lead, and it's like, okay, these guys might be fucking
Lamar's
unbelievable.
grinning.
Lamar's
I think.
so
I know it sucks. He wants to win,
Yeah,
and I mean,
so
he doesn't want to lose games, but it's not my fault we're losing.
Yeah.
You guys need me more than ever now.
Lamar's
The defense
4-0.
is going to choke.
Yeah, Lamar
Yeah,
himself
if the
should be
defense
4-0.
can't hang, you're going to need me more. That contract's going to be fat.
Oh my
that
God,
he
he's gonna
gets.
make so much
going
money.
to
$300
be-
mil guaranteed.
Easy,
Yeah,
they're going to have to be
he's
40.
going to be pushing Mahomes' range, and that's
Although-
$500 million.
Didn't Baltimore have 20 points in the first half?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
we
were
ended-
scoring.
that's
They didn't
true.
score anymore.
That's true.
They take their
Yep.
foot off the
So
gas.
as much as their defense gave it up, their
That's
offense.
true.
You got to start
true.
questioning Harbaugh just a little bit. I've
Harbaugh,
always
Greg
liked John
Roman.
Harbaugh. Greg
I
Roman.
would say
Greg
they,
Roman. Don't
I saw
make
something that
halftime
said they were
adjustments.
having an announcement. I haven't seen anything.
I saw that too.
Greg Roman needs to be
I
asked.
not
hope it's
Harbaugh.
him. No,
No,
way.
no.
Greg
Harbaugh's
Roman.
earned the season at least.
Harbaugh's earned multiple seasons.
Yeah,
in my
he's earned
opinion.
a lot
I was
of
gonna
time.
say like
He's
you.
almost unfireable.
Yeah, he is. I
Yeah,
think
you gotta
he's the coach
suck
that
bad.
retires.
Like, and I understand, like, maybe not winning Super Bowl meeting expectations, that's one thing, but what's on the other side?
Right,
The grass
yeah.
ain't
Who are you
always
gonna bring
greener.
in?
Yeah, the grass ain't always greener.
No,
You're
it's
replacing
not.
a guy that knows every rule in the book. He takes them to all of his advantages he can. He gets teams ready. When have the Ravens been bad? With major injuries, they're always a team that competes. They're always right
Yep.
there. I mean, it takes major injuries to knock them out from first place last year.
Yeah.
The Ravens are good, but they got to finish, like you're saying. And we'll see what happens.
Gotta close out.
Mhm.
What was it? For Greg Roman, this is why we need to get rid of him.
Mhm.
He coached the Colin Kaepernick 49ers.
Okay.
He was their offensive coordinator. They were great for what, 2 seasons?
Yeah, 2 seasons.
And
apart.
then
They
fell
were crap,
apart.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tyrod Taylor's Buffalo Bills.
Ah,
It's happening again.
poor
It's
Tyrod
happening
Taylor.
yet again, and people are catching on,
Mhm.
and he's not expanding the playbook enough, and
Yeah.
we got to find
That's
someone
the
else.
Not
first
making
person
halftime
that's got to
adjustments.
go.
Yeah, that's
you can't
first
get
head
rid of
goals.
Lamar. Yeah, you
Absolutely.
can't get rid of head
No.
coach. I mean, it's just got to be the OC and change it up, and
Yeah,
hopefully
mix it up a little bit.
yeah, the team
And did
can
Ryan
finish
Stanley
it.
play this weekend or no?
Nope.
You want to get him back.
That's
Nope,
huge.
Gotta get him
That's
back.
huge.
Gotta get him back.
Been out for about 2
And then
years.
go get an elite wide receiver, damn it. Give Lamar a stud. Rashad Bateman, really, really good. Duvernay's had a really good season.
He's breaking out.
Mark Andrews is a stud, top tight end, arguably top tight end in the NFL.
Top 10?
Unless Desmond,
No, obviously
top
top.
one.
Number
unless
1.
Desmond Ridder comes out and plays well, I'm on the phone with Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, how much is he worth? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, with the baggage,
Can't play
and
the
the
season,
gambling
fine,
thing,
whatever.
yeah, whatever. You're out. He's out for the
Healthy.
year anyway. But
He's normally a healthy wide receiver.
he's looked
Very
great
talented.
when he plays.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
would
I
be
mean,
a huge-
even just being by himself. I
I
mean,
love
Julio
that.
would go down. The guy's an unproven receiver, and he
Yeah.
proved himself to be someone that is successful. And I mean,
Yeah.
Atlanta's just going to be bad anyway. That's some capital that
Yeah.
they can get for him.
I mean,
would
second
say
round pick.
Something you want this season. Hey, OBJ, how's that?
Yeah.
Oh,
feel?
OBJ.
That's
That's,
amazing.
that's how he visited the Giants
Yeah.
today or
How's that
yesterday.
feeling?
Yeah.
I know. I was talking to you with a little bit about this
Mhm.
off a podcast, but I want Terry McLaurin so bad.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Washington,
get him out.
get him out,
Get him out of Commanders.
Oh.
He got locked up yet again this week.
Yeah,
by his father.
that's true, by his father.
DJ Moore's available as well. Apparently,
DJ
we'll see
Moore
with that. The
wants
Panthers,
out.
that's
He's
just
so-
interesting.
oh, I'm
Yeah, I'm
Baker Mayfield
open.
must
Oh, I
suck.
don't
DJ
know
Moore
if
would
he's
be
open.
great.
Yeah.
He went from a borderline elite receiver to
I mean, look who
QB
is
play,
throwing
baby,
the football
QB
to
play.
him.
I mean,
you
his
know
whole
what I mean?
career, though, if you
No,
think about
true.
it. Like,
That's true.
I don't know if you ever had Cam Newton when he was in his prime. I don't think so. I think he's
He's
too
like
new
one
for
year
that.
of good,
Of
kinda
decent Cam. But then Darnold, Baker, I think Teddy was a quarterback there for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that.
mean, no good quarterback play
No.
there.
They're going to be
DJ
fighting for
Walker.
that number 1 pick.
Yeah,
man,
they
getting
are.
the quarterback,
They're
and then
bad.
we'll see. But yeah,
Matt Rule's,
gone
he's not
early.
going to last the season.
Yeah, Rule's done.
That job
Rule's
will be
done.
attractive if it
That
comes
job
open.
could be attractive.
Nebraska, you're saying it.
that rolled to Nebraska.
I
I love
for
it.
weeks.
I love
that.
it.
They'll continue to suck.
Yeah.
So, moving on, we are going to go ahead and jump into our Week 5 game picks. We're just going to go ahead and just fire right away here. I think I like the idea of just going right around the table here.
Yep.
So, Colin, Thursday night we've got Indianapolis at Denver. And everybody watching, listening, we are recording this Tuesday afternoon. So injuries that happen Wednesday, injuries that happen Friday, we won't have that.
Yeah.
We're going off of the Monday night game finished less than 24 hours ago. This is gut reaction on these picks, injuries we've heard